No, I'm sorry. No. You're creating soul ties and taking on people's demons. Yeah. So, do what you will with that information. Hi. Welcome to the land of milk and honey. My name is Tahani. Some people know me by another name. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Sorry. I wanted to talk about our complete inability to choose healthy relationships. I said it. Yeah. It's okay because I have something that will help. Yes, I am a female, but of course I have some advice in here for the men to, not even advice, y'all, because I'm not here to give y'all advice. I'm here to spread the word of the Lord, if you didn't know. Anywho, let's get into it. First, I want to talk about what the world has portrayed as relationship goals. The world's relationship goals and God's relationship goals, my God, how they differ. And so it's important that we learn this information so that we stop breaking our own hearts. Because that's what's happening. We're breaking our own hearts by falling for what God is warning us to stray away from. We're made to think that relationships are supposed to look one way. Men are supposed to do this. Women are supposed to look like that. Men need to be able to provide this. Women should be doing these things at all times. And it's just like, You have women complaining about men, and then you have men complaining about women just all the time. Isn't it exhausting? Are you guys exhausted? I'm exhausted. Like, we're here. Like, why can't we get along? So first things first, the Lord is instructing us to guard our hearts. Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. I know y'all see those videos where it's like, did it hurt that bad? And then the next picture is like of them like all swagged out. I don't even know. The idea is that because they were hurt so bad, they turned into this whole different person. These things are real. So guard your hearts above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Being heartbroken can take you to such a dark place. It can create a separation between you and your creator, which is one of the worst things that can happen in your life. Your heart, how you treat your heart and who you let deal with your heart determines the course of your life. And so you have to be very careful. Dating is fine, especially if you're not incorporating sex. If you're just going out on dates and getting to know these people, I think it's perfectly fine. Incorporating sex with those people who you are dating is a completely different thing. That's sexual immorality. You don't have to have sex with everybody you date, period. It's true. Sex should not be happening before marriage. Sex is much deeper, and the world has made it seem like this fun experience to pass time by or to connect with somebody you barely know. No, I'm sorry. No. You're creating soul ties and taking on people's demons. Yeah. So, do what you will with that information. Not everybody has your best interest. Okay? Please know that. I want to talk about the things that we should be avoiding while we are seeking out our partners. So I'm going to start in Proverbs chapter 5, verses 1 through 6. A lot of these verses, they use either son or daughter or whatever. I want you to know these notes of wisdom apply to everybody. Please take heed. Proverbs chapter 5, verses 1 through 6. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my wise counsel, then you will show discernment, and your lips will express what you've learned. For the lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is as bitter. You guys, prepare. I'm telling you, I probably wore the wrong outfit for this video because now I'm like, hold on. Okay, wait, seriously. For the lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is as bitter as poison, as dangerous as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. For she cares nothing about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't realize it. Basically, this is saying that getting involved with the wrong man or woman could completely destroy your life path. The Lord is giving us indicators of immoral partners. Of course, we have free will, so we have the option of taking heed or not. But personally, I'm over it. I want my man. I want a husband. Anyway, these are indicators of immoral partners, and you have to be discerning. And so I'm not saying every time a guy says something nice to you, go crazy, or every time a girl gives you a compliment, shut down. No, I'm saying just look out for those things, okay? I'm going to take us to Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13. And it reads, "The woman named Folly is brash. She is ignorant and doesn't know it. She sits in her doorway on the heights overlooking the city. She calls out to men going by who are minding their own business. Come in with me," she urges the simple. "To those who lack good judgment," she says. "Stolen water is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. Little do they know that the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of the grave." So if you guys were confused with this last passage, this was wisdom calling out to the woman named Folly. Folly is this ignorant girl. She wants a boyfriend. She wants a husband. And she's calling out to them. But in the end, it says, little does she know that the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of the grave. And so you're calling out to these men. What are they, handsome? What, they got money? But they don't have anything of substance. Meaning they don't have anything that can lead you to the Lord. And that's really where we're trying to go. I don't know. I'm not trying to go anywhere else. It might be good for a short period of time, but after a while, you're going to realize that you're not being treated how you need to be. And then what? You're going to have to start over again. And what are you going to do now? Choose unwisely again? I think a lot of the times we forget that we're in war. And that's huge. This is a whole nother video that I'm just introducing right now. We are at war. It's the wicked versus the wise. Since this is a war, you need a good partner to fight with. We're fighting battles seen and unseen. Of course, the Lord has our back spiritually, but let's not forget that there's a spiritually. These are battles that need to be fought. A lot of us have stopped fighting the demons and started inviting them in. God, can we talk about it? I don't know. I don't think y'all are ready. We are running the race of life. And you can either run with God or run without God. But those who run with God will receive eternal life. The person you choose to love is going to be a huge indicator of where you end up. It's back to Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. I want to go back to dating and talk about why we should be keeping our bodies sacred until marriage. I'm going to read from Proverbs 5, verses 16 and 17. Why spill the water of your springs in the streets, having sex with just anyone? You should reserve it for yourselves. Never share it with strangers. And most of these people are strangers. Over time, you become less aware of how much life is being sucked out of you as you continue to take part in these activities. But hey, Do what you want. You have free will. I'm just telling you that there's a better path. Everybody is worried about being able to meet the standards of the world. Wrong standards to meet. It literally doesn't matter what they are doing. They are headed to destruction. Anyway, y'all, we have to make better choices. We have to choose better partners. And let me just say, we can't fix each other. You know, God is our only doctor. You can help people, you can advise people, but as far as healing each other, that's not something that we should be trying to do because we need a healing ourselves. Don't tell me you don't. And so while you're over here trying to pour into somebody else, you're taking from your own cup. So how about finding somebody that's equally yoked with you so that you guys can grow together? Oh, yeah. Instead of being together and destroying each other little by little, not even noticing until it's too late. Because if you're letting God be your matchmaker, then you're allowing God to call the shots. You're allowing God's will to be. The Lord will bring you your equally yoked partner who can sustain this fight with you. Just because the Lord is picking your man doesn't mean that your man's going to be ugly. Doesn't mean that your man is not going to be your type. That's not what that means at all. And if you think like that, then you don't know the character of your Lord. The Lord wants to give you what you want and need. And so he's not just thinking about what you like physically. He's thinking about what you'll need in the long run to sustain and to survive. What does it take to choose the right partner? You're going to be led back to your first love, which is God. God's always going to lead you back to him first, so that you know what real love is and you can be discerning about whether your partner is showing you true love or not. You'll be able to seek and sift out personalities and characteristics of people and be able to know whether or not you should be being in cahoots with them. It's not even about letting God be your matchmaker, but more so about making sure you're looking for qualities that would actually benefit you in the end. And no, that's not money. Don't go solely for money. And this is for men too. Like if you want a female who has a nice body, okay, go for a nice body, but not solely for a nice body. Don't make that your deciding factor. That's shallow. You should be looking for godly characteristics. You should be looking for characteristics that pair well with your own. Be ready and willing to communicate. Be ready to have those uncomfortable conversations because it matters. It's hard to do in a world that does not promote this at all, but I completely recommend bringing up God in your very first conversation with whoever you're interested in. 100%. That's if you're a godly person. But if you're looking for someone with a good head on their shoulders, ask those uncomfortable questions. It doesn't even have to be about God. Ask those uncomfortable questions. If they can't answer them, they might not be ready for you, boo. I'm talking to men and women. Ask those uncomfortable questions. If you don't care, then you don't care. Go find somebody else who don't care. In a world that is basically obsessed with relationships, it's important that we're choosing wisely. It's important that we're not just out here doing whatever, whenever, just because it's being promoted publicly. Like, we need to be more careful. Ask God that he makes you receptive to his will. God even mentions like the feeling of getting an STD. Like, let me read it. Strangers will consume your wealth and someone else will enjoy the fruit of your labor. In the end, you will groan in anguish when disease consumes your body. You will say, how I hate discipline. If only I had not ignored all the warnings. Seek first the kingdom of God and he will give you everything you need. Thank you guys for visiting the land of milk and honey. I gotta go.